Alright guys, welcome back with me with another YouTube video. So today I'll talking about key to unleash the full potential of Enma. So, make sure to stay tuned for that. If you do enjoy seeing this anime reviews and want to keep them coming, the best thing you can do is smash that like button, and if you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial, hit that notification bell or you will miss future anime videos. In Chapter 1001, after executing Rengoku Onigiri, Zoro said he still needed to draw out more of Enma's power. I think a lot of people have been misinterpreting that scene. Whenever Zoro receives a new weapon, he always needs to acclimatize to its use. He is not able to fully maximize the combat potential of the weapon on his first try. After purchasing his new swords, Zoro decides to test them against the Whiskey Peak bounty hunters. Sandai Kitetsu cuts through more than Zoro wants to, leading him to comment that it's going to be a problem child. After receiving Shisui from Ryuma, Zoro decides to test it against ores. He comments on the exceptional weight of Shisui. He then executes his signature 1080-pound cannon. The technique became much bigger, with the slash produced by Shisui swallowing the slashes of his other swords. While the attack was impressive, Zoro noted that it was too big and slow. He said that this was proof that he couldn't fully control the sword yet. Zoro then concluded that the sword would be a pain to master. Zoro's slashes with Sandai initially cut too deeply. His slashes with Shisui were too big and slow. He may have been putting too much power into his attacks. Perhaps Zoro is currently not putting in enough power in his Enma slashes to prevent it from draining his haki. What happened here with Zoro saying he needs to draw out more of Enma's power may be similar to the acclimatization Zoro needed while using Shisui. He's not fully accustomed to Enma yet, and so he can't maximize his abilities with Enma. It's not necessarily the case that Enma is granting Zoro Ryuo, so the main conclusion that can be drawn at this point is that Zoro has not yet mastered Enma. I know some people have been debating whether Enma is an earned power-up and unearned power-up, or not a power-up, but I'm not particularly interested in that debate. I think that's a stupid point of contention. By his own admission, Zoro would become significantly stronger after mastering Enma. However, Chapter 1001 revealed that Zoro has not yet mastered Enma, so he isn't yet significantly stronger. Essentially, would Enma make Zoro stronger after mastering it? Yes. Has Zoro mastered Enma? No. Is current Zoro significantly stronger than before he traded Enma? It doesn't yet appear to the case since he still hasn't mastered Enma. Alternatively, we don't know to what extent Zoro's combat ability has changed. He may be weaker than his Shisui self, comparable in combat ability, or slightly stronger. What we do know is that he hasn't yet maximized the potential of Enma. As Zoro uses Enma more in the battle, I expect him to acclimatize better, and as he does so his combat ability will rise. Once he has fully acclimatized, he'll be significantly stronger. Will Zoro be weaker without Enma? Upon mastering Enma, if Zoro traded Enma for Shisui, he would become stronger. Shisui is a sword that Zoro has already completely mastered. Shisui is more potent than Enma as it is already a black blade. However, if Enma were made a black blade, it would be promoted to supreme grade and become stronger than Shisui. Enma's potential is higher. If Zoro traded Enma for a lower grade sword, he would become significantly weaker. If Zoro traded Enma for another sword of the same grade, like Aim no Habakiri or the Naide Kitetsu, he will become temporarily weaker as he adapts to the new sword. As things go, Shisui is a better sword than Enma because it's a black blade in addition to being of the same grade. Mastering Enma is what makes Zoro stronger, and blackening Enma would make Zoro even stronger. Until Enma is blackened, it will be an inferior sword to Shisui. All of Zoro's sword have their own quirks. Sandai Kitetsu was exceedingly sharp to the extent that it cut more than Zoro intended to cut. Shisui was exceptionally heavy, it produced much stronger air slashes. The air slash of Shisui swallowed up the slashes of Zoro's other swords. Is exceptionally durable. It wouldn't bend even if a dinosaur stepped on it. Enma forces the user to release excessive amounts of Ryuo, creating large slashes. Once Zoro mastered those swords, he was able to tame their quirks. For Zoro, acquiring Enma isn't like acquiring a new devil fruit, but trading a powerful devil fruit for another powerful fruit. If for example one traded the Mera Mera no Mi for the Guro Guro no Mi. Yes, you can become stronger after you've mastered the Guro Guro no Mi, but until you master it you would be weaker than you were before. While Zoro did indeed have at least a week of training time with Enma, the recent chapter confirms that it was not enough to fully acclimatize to it in combat. While some people may think that Zoro must be significantly stronger given that his and Luffy's trainings were contrasted, I don't think that's necessarily the case. If we compare their first attacks, Luffy successfully lands a hit on Kaido. No further comment. Zoro successfully lands a hit on Kaido, comments that he needs to draw out more power from his weapon. Literally, Zoro's comment on his first attack is about how he hasn't acclimatized to it. It's not at all comparable to Luffy's situation. Zoro went out of his way to emphasize how his grasp of his new blade is still inadequate. That Oda had Zoro do this suggests to me that Zoro hasn't yet reached the level of strength he was hoping to reach with Enma. Ryu is the key to master Enma sword.